So when you leave a hangout,
This
you
bitch called me a
feel
thief. Sorry.
now you either feel like when you leave a hangout, you either could feel depleted,
Yes.
or you feel like, damn, that was so fun. I can't wait to come back.
Yes,
Like,
you guys.
you know when you
that
text
is
your
number
friends after, like, I love you guys so much. Thank you for having me over.
Right.
That's when you know that you're with the right people. What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Girl, Let Me Tell You. I'm Ivana Rojas.
What's up? I'm Jessica Flores.
And I'm Glorelys.
So what's up, guys? What's going down? Wait, really quick, how are you guys liking doing this podcast so far?
I'm learning a lot about myself and about you ladies and about our friendship. We're developing a friendship.
Yeah,
which is what I think we're talking about today, right?
Yeah.
We
Like,
are.
how do you know you found the one as a friend?
Because let's be honest, like when it comes to even, especially when you're an adult, like when it comes to actually making friends, it is an investment. It is like you are dating that person.
No,
and then
it's
you start
dating.
seeing red flags like in those friends sometimes and you're like, I don't really like that, or I don't really like how you're drunk, or I don't really like, I don't know, the advice you give me, things like that.
Yeah. What's a red flag? Like what's a non on Jessica's list of
For friendships, like if there's a girl, and this actually happened to me recently, that she's just sitting there talking like really poorly about other people when they're
Oh,
on the room, but
gossip?
then when you see them around them, they're just like, they seem so happy. They seem so like into them, like they're their friends, but they're actually like conniving behind their back. Honestly, the way people talk about other people when they're not in the room,
Says a lot.
That's the way they wouldn't talk. I always say whoever gossips to you gossips about you.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, 100%.
So that's why I keep the gossip real minimal.
It's weird too as you get old. Like when you're younger, you kind of get you make friends through school, sports, and as you get older, you kind of get to like choose who you can be homies with.
That's
and
what I was
actually,
gonna say.
recently, I made friends kind of on Instagram with somebody like a few years back, a girl, and we were.
She slid in your DMs.
She slid in my DMs.
I've done that
We were
to
getting to know
girls.
each other because of our nationality. It was cool. And like we became friends quickly. Like she invited me to some games and I was like, oh, she's cool. But like I've never had a random girl. Like,
I don't like
to be frank,
that.
no, but
I don't
listen,
like it
you
at
don't like that?
all. No,
And-
I'm sorry.
Wait,
Finish your
let me
story.
finish my
Yeah.
So she was going through a breakup and I had just gone through one. So I was just kind of like helping her friend to friend, woman to woman. And she was like, you know, like how I am. Because I went to an all girls school. I only have sisters. Like I'm a friend.
girl's girl.
Like I'm a girl's friend. Like I
Yeah.
don't talk behind girls' back. I don't do that stuff. Like I keep it real 100%. That's just how I was raised, you know what I mean? So with this girl, I was like, okay, well, I don't know where she came from, but I'm gonna help as much as I can. And then it developed into something like she bought me a flight to an island.
She bought you
you a
for
flight?
her birthday, yeah.
Ivana.
I mean, I eventually paid for it.
This is your
None of
girlfriend.
my friends for their birthdays have.
I know.
I always
I
had to
know.
purchase my own
Yeah.
flight.
That was like the first red flag. I was like, whoa, you got me a ticket? She's
But
like,
you
yeah.
went.
Yeah, she's like, you can pay me.
Red flag.
Well,
I'm gonna go.
it was like an island. She
Yeah.
gets for my birthday. All my friends are coming, and I was like, I was like, fine, let's go. I'm down. And then I get there, and like, I realize that every friend is like from a different place. Like, no one knows each other. So we're all like, it's kind of like White Lotus. We're
It's
like,
giving Real Housewives.
Yeah,
No,
you're
for
like,
real.
so
You know,
who, like, how do you
and
know
then,
her?
And little by little, like, you know, it's different when you start living with somebody for a week. Like, things go down. And I remember, like, I was like, I want to go to jacuzzi. And it was like, no, you can't. It's my birthday. We're doing what we're doing. And I was like, wait, am I like in 5th grade? But I started seeing that every other girl was following every step of the way she was saying.
I think
and
you
I was
joined.
like,
I think you joined the cult.
no, listen.
Yeah. Like unknowingly joined her cult.
I was
Yeah.
like, hold up, guys. Like, I'm not gonna do this. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Just because it's your birthday doesn't mean that we have to follow the master leader. And I realized like everyone was quiet, and so I was like, wow, I'm not in like a right vibe, right friends location. So I kind of stood my ground, kept quiet. On the flight back, I was like, this is not my friend. She is like, it was. Came home, unfollowed. Never talked again.
Yeah,
Never
unfollowed?
talked again to this woman after I spent like a whole year helping all this stuff.
There's
Like,
so much to unpack here. Like
I
one,
mean-
there's just too much. Like one, I don't make like I feel like Instagram friendships. I don't do that. Like if I didn't know you in real life,
yeah,
I'm not gonna just. And I think like now the friendship is changing now. Where people like slide. Like if they're a fan of yours, like I want to be your friend. I'm gonna hit you up and I'm gonna actually be your friend. Versus before, it was like you met people in real life. Like I had someone. You know, I do stand up, so I had someone. And stand up is weird. Where everyone's kind of like your friend a little bit. So she slid into my DMs and I started noticing like she would watch everything I do and like hit me up whenever I had like an announcement. Does that make sense? Like it's like, oh, I'm shooting a podcast. Hey girl, what are you doing today? I just posted 5 minutes ago. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
okay.
you know
I
what
know
I'm saying?
exactly
Yeah.
what you mean.
I don't like
It's like
this-
I know you know what I'm doing today. You just
Yeah.
saw I posted this
I mean,
flyer.
I
Yeah,
feel like
that's
with friends
weird.
at our age, you could you meet somebody and the energy is like you either know what's up or you don't.
Yeah.
Like my mom doesn't trust. Like my best friends. My mom's like, she's not your friend. I'm like, what do you mean?
Your
Yeah,
best
like,
best
my
friend?
best friend.
Intuition,
Like
yeah.
she just if somebody does something wrong, even if we're like 16, 17, she's like, that's not your friend.
No, that's a
You
fact.
would never do that. I'm like, I know, Mom, but you forgive and you grow up. And she's like, no. But I
Yeah.
mean, no. I'm like, Mom, maybe because she has her own issues to go on, but she's really like intuitive about people that.
No.
'Cause
Wait,
the
what's your
thing
mom's
is that-
sign? What's your mom's sign?
She's a Sagittarius.
Okay.
But what I realized is like, no one's gonna be the friend that you are to them. Like I was expecting, I would ride or die for my friends. Like they hit me up at 4 a.m. I need your help. I will be there. They know they can call me. I don't know if I could.
No,
do
I don't
that
wanna
to a
have
lot
for
of
people.
people.
Yeah.
I know there's a few, of
Yeah.
course, but like who can you hit up at like 3 or 4 a.m. and be like, can you please pick me up my tire slash? What would you like?
I feel like when you're younger, you go through a phase where you feel like the more friends you have, the happier you're gonna be. The older you get, you realize it is just extra work. It's just extra baggage. You're dealing with so many different personalities.
Right.
We don't have the time. We have kids. We have bills.
Wait, you have a-
we
you
have
have a kid?
life. We have so much
You have a
going
kid?
on. Do I have?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a kid, but you know what I mean. In
She wants
general,
to.
we want adults.
I'm like, no, we don't.
Yeah, like
why
no
do
one
I
here
say-
has a kid.
Yeah, we got
But-
kids. She wants kids. Everybody.
I
She's
want kids.
single.
One day I'm
She's
gonna have a
single.
kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
But
done.
you know,
Yeah.
adults have kids. You know,
Yeah.
for the
other women.
Yes. and men.
No, I get what you're saying.
But it's tough.
Yeah.
So, you know, you start to go from this mentality of, oh, I just want like a sea of friends to I want a solid group of people that I can come to for anything. And that's it. And that's peaceful. I have a lot of acquaintances. I have a lot of
Yes.
people that if you need a favor, you know, I got you. It's very peaceful and very nice. But I don't let a lot of people in because
Yeah.
I've been hurt before, like so hard. I remember the first time a girl broke my heart was
yeah.
it was my first boyfriend, like real boyfriend. I mean, like I lost my virginity to this person.
That's your man.
Like, yeah, like
Yeah.
this was actually like borderline sophomore year in college. And I remember it was my best friend of 15 years. Okay, 15 years. This was my ride or die. And it's crazy to me because even thinking about it now, I still feel some type of way about it because she had a full-blown affair with him for a month and a half.
No. We need
Yeah.
to unpack. We
Yeah.
need to. I love how. Okay.
While you were dating him, like an affair, like a full on, like cheating with.
Yes, like in his phone, I remember seeing like text messages of her saying, "Hey, I know you're with Jess right now, but just so you know, like my parents aren't here right now. You can come over after."
What's up
like,
with her?
But you didn't know it was her.
Bad. No, I knew it was her because every time we'd hang out, she would pop up on his phone, and I'm like, why is? I was gonna say her name. Okay, I'm
my
not gonna
God.
say her. We'll just
What
say her
is
name. Is
No, I'm kidding.
Shelly.
Wait. Where were you? Where did you guys become friends?
We met when we were 10 on a soccer team. We played soccer our
That's
whole
not
lives
your friend.
growing up. Like, I
See,
mean,
that's Ivana's mom. That's not your
Yeah,
friend.
that's not your,
Yeah.
that's not your friend.
Did you-
With
before-
friends like
well,
that,
yeah.
who needs enemies? My mom said,
Right.
con amigas así, ¿quién necesita enemigos?
yeah.
Right.
But you just never
Sure.
think they'll do that to you. And that's the first time I feel like I was like, okay.
Did you
I
fight
love
her?
girls. No, I didn't
See, that's
fight
the
her.
problem.
If
That's the
anything,
problem.
she didn't even apologize. I remember when I reached out to her because I was like, God, what do I do? I'm carrying so much anger and hurt. And then something was just like, just tell her you forgive her, even though she hasn't really fully apologized. So I'm like, honestly,
She
I
slept
don't like
with
you,
your
but-
man.
I know, multiple times.
No, she owes you an apology.
I mean,
Right now.
that was so long
We're-
ago.
no kidding.
She did apologize like years later, I believe, or something. But I've obviously
Oh
let
wait,
it go.
what was his nationality?
He was like Mexican, but not. He's like third, fourth generation.
So he was Latino man who cheated on you with your friend.
Yeah,
That's what they say.
Welcome
Don't
to
date Latino
reality.
men.
yeah. But that was my first awakening.
What
did you say?
Don't date Latino men.
Yeah,
Don't
honestly,
date
it's a
them.
rude awakening.
No. Yeah. Wait, I there's just so. So you never spoke to this girl after she slept with your man?
I think we spoke like once or twice since then. It's been years, though. It's been
Okay, so how do you
This is-
feel about your friends staying friends with your ex? Like after they meet your boyfriend through you and you break up, then they still hang out, kick it, follow each other. Like, do you feel that that's cool?
Okay, kick it, no. If
Kick
they
it,
follow,
no.
if they follow each other, it doesn't hurt me as much. I still have some of my friends that follow my ex. I'm like, it is what it is. But kick it, girl.
let me
like,
ask a
what?
question.
Never, never,
Sorry.
never.
I would never kick it with one of my friends' exes.
I wanna ask a question because I'm still getting to know everybody. I get a new boyfriend. Y'all following him or y'all not following
No,
him?
absolutely not.
Like,
I don't do that.
Okay.
I'm very like when it comes to my friends and boyfriends, anything like that. I don't mess. It's none of my business. Like,
Yeah.
that's my friend. I'm friends with you.
Yeah.
I'm not friends with him.
Like, my
And-
friend, she
and if
was-
he wants to be my friend, I actually think it's weird when my friends' boyfriends follow me. I'm like, for
Yeah,
what?
I'm like, don't like, because I've been
for
posting
what?
like bikini pictures, make me really uncomfortable. Well, I haven't posted a bikini picture in a long time, but this summer I will.
Wait, okay, so would you get, okay,
No,
for instance, if you got a new guy and we followed him, because we all hang out all the time and obviously we're always around you, would it hurt you?
You know what
it's
is weird? I was my best friend. She was with her man for a few years. I never followed him. Like I never followed him online. We never followed each other. I'm like, I don't. There's no reason for us to have each other's information unless you're planning a surprise party for me.
Are you guys the type to have your boyfriend go with you guys with all your friend stuff though?
Wait, go do
like,
what?
do you invite your boyfriend, your significant other to all the stuff with your friends though?
Yes,
Wait,
I do.
No,
but
I don't.
But I'm very like, I'm not gonna lie, like when I do have my man, because I do have that insecurity from my
No, you.
friend,
I would be insecure
I'm
forever,
a little bit
Jessica.
like, okay, like
So you're
that's a
like
little
watching.
traumatic.
You're like another eye on your friends, and you have an eye on him.
Yeah, and I know my friends would never do that, but I
Wait.
said that about that other girl too. But I this time I'm like, I know my friends wouldn't do that to me. So.
Jessica, it's given we need to heal.
It's giving we
You
need
see that
therapy.
shit that you
today.
don't want to go to?
No,
you have
we
to
need
go.
therapy because that's if you don't
Yeah.
fix that, you're gonna be feeling that way. Imagine if he meets
I know.
Gloria, he's gonna be hooked.
Right. Wait, what? Wait, why you dragged me into this?
Wait, if my
Oh,
man
wait,
meets
she's like, wait. One joke and a follow and it's a wrap. Then we're not gonna have any podcast. We gotta heal.
If your man meets me, he's gonna leave you.
Yeah.
We're not building, Ivana. We're not building.
No, I'm
she
like,
just
what?
said she just gave us her vulnerable moment. She's like, yeah, she's gonna take your man.
sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
either of us are gonna take your man. I'm like,
no,
oh.
No,
I
we
just
don't.
want
We
to say a
don't do that.
clarification because I am going deaf. I'm about to be 40 in 7 years. So you hang out with your man and your friends all the time.
Yeah, like I'll have him around. Yeah. Yeah, because I
you one of
like
those-
integrating my partner into my life.
Does he have to be every? Because can I say something?
I have to
Yeah,
say
say
something
it.
too.
I hate when my friends bring their men.
Me too. Oh my god.
Everywhere.
Okay, yeah.
Leave him at home.
Yeah, leave him. Like, there's a time and place for a boy to be with us, but
Right.
like, if it's all girls, like, let us be.
Okay, well, yeah, if it's like an all girls trip or an
giving
all
red
girls
flag.
thing.
Sorry, no, I'm kidding.
Okay, if it's an all girls thing,
No, no,
obviously,
no.
but if it's like, okay, we're all gonna go on a, I don't know.
Like to dinner, like to lunch. We're going to
Yeah,
dinner,
I'll
and
bring
like
my
your
man.
man's there. He don't need to be there.
Yeah, he does not.
He just-
I realize I always prioritize my friends, my girlfriends
Yeah.
over my man. Maybe because I haven't fallen in love like that yet, but anytime my friend, I'm like, no, I gotta go to my friend.
What I'm starting to learn in life is that the fun is really with the girls. Like the
For
man
sure.
is there for accessories and like to pay the bills. But really, I'm just saying that I don't want to get dragged. But it really is like the moments that I have the most fun in my life is with my
Yeah,
girlfriend.
your soulmates are your
true.
girls.
Yeah, like men are always gonna disappoint you.
No, that's not true. Not always.
Yes, they are. Put that on a t-shirt. We kind of broke up over like the weird vibes in Vegas. It got a little bit more complicated.
well, yeah,
than that.
because then it says like how she's viewing you. It's
Yeah,
like,
I'm like, bitch, I've been your friend forever.
Yeah.
Like, you think I'm gonna take $200 from you? Roll back the tape. I don't want to bring it back to men, but have you never not been disappointed by a man? Like, think about your worst
No,
disappointment.
never.
It's always been a man. No?
Always. No, always been
That's what I'm
disappointed,
saying.
no matter
That's
what.
why your friends are so important.
Yeah.
I've been disappointed by men, but I've also been so disappointed by women. Like,
No.
so
Oh,
over
she
and
bought
over
a bag.
and over.
Talk to me about that. Okay, you been strike one. Your friend slept with your man. What was the other one?
God.
We're never
what
gonna let that go
hurts
because
more
that shit is
for you,
crazy.
getting disappointed by your girls or just disappointed by boys?
Okay, so
what hurts more?
The
That's a good
hardest
question.
breakup I ever went with was that one. Not so much because of him. It was because I was breaking up with my friend of 15 years.
Yeah.
Since I was little,
Yeah.
we went through like the trenches together. Like,
But
you know,
why
the
would she
weird middle
do
school,
that?
the weird high school era, like everything. Like we had each other's back. Like,
But she was no.
do you
she
guys,
was
do you
never
guys
your
talk
friend.
now or is it a wrap?
no, it's a wrap. Like
It's a
it's been a
wrap.
wrap since then. Like I unfollowed her and all
Did
that
she
stuff.
say sorry and all this stuff?
Yeah,
never
like
apologized.
a while after she like really apologized and she was like, you know, when I was younger, like that was so messed up. And I was like, it's cool. Like I had already, you have to let it go in order to heal and move on. I
Yeah.
can't hold on to it, but it's still like, I still think about it and I'm like, dang, that really hurt. That was
I mean,
the hardest
I-
breakup because of her. It was honestly
I
because
also
of her.
think that she isn't a best friend if that's the case. Like I've had a best, me and my best friend and I have been best friends since I was 5 years old. In kindergarten we met, and we're
That's your
in
best
our
friend?
30s, yeah, and we're still best friends. But we've had major falling outs, like heartbreak, like letters written to each other, you know, like not talking
this
for
is
months, like
generational.
But, yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like because we grew together, so it was like there's moments from you like learning.
Do you feel obligated to stay her friend?
No,
shade.
Absolutely not.
No?
No. She's like my sister. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
but
it's
that's
not-
why.
'Cause
Like, do you
some-
feel
Yes.
like because there's so much history.
Yeah, like sometimes when you're friends with someone for a long time, you feel
No,
like we
because
have
when
to
you
stay
love
together.
somebody and you're friends with somebody, you have to work for it. Like you have to work for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think as an adult also, because now we're, sometimes you're like, okay, I'm going to give it a go with this girl and I'm going to like try it out. I did that last year with this girl, that sweetest, cutest, funniest person ever. But then every time we would talk on the phone, she would just be sitting there bad mouthing everybody in her circle.
Yeah, but that's a bad character.
Yeah, so then I would be like, okay, I don't think she's doing it to me, but anyway, come to find she was, and after I found that out, I like blocked, deleted. Back in the day, it was harder for me to like delete people out of my life. I had like a weird, like, you know what, maybe they're gonna change type of thing. Now it's like,
no, I block everybody.
Delete,
I delete everybody.
You know
I don't
who your
want you to
true
come
friends
with
are
me.
on girls' trips?
You said what?
How do you feel about girls' trips?
I have to be your best friend to go on a girls' trip with you because yes. Yeah, because I hate, you get to know people when you're traveling. I don't want to be like, don't wake me up in the morning. Like we all have our own little travel rules. And if they don't align, we're going to fight.
Yeah.
And I'm not a burdensome person, but like, people like to do, like that girl, she wanted to have a birthday dinner and everyone had to be, and you wanted to go to jacuzzi. I'm an adult and I'm gonna do whatever I want. Please go do whatever you want and we can regroup at the end for lunch or dinner. Like, no, I'm serious.
Yeah, just like a nice little regroup.
I can't, like, I get really hesitant to go, like, right now as a comic, I do have to travel sometimes with people, and even that, like, I'm very selective about who I do partnerships with because I don't want to end up with someone that gets on my nerves. We will not be friends. We will not be, like, I just can't. I just can't. Is it me? Am I too New York? Okay.
No, and I think that also comes with like maturity. You're just like, okay, I'm not gonna. It's because like our energy now is so valuable. Like I'm sure anybody in this room can relate. It's like I'm not putting myself in a situation where I feel drained of my energy, where I feel like uncomfortable, especially a trip.
Sometimes you know yourself. Like I'm very moody. I'm like, I don't want to also burden some. I'm gonna be a Debbie. Like
I'm so different. Like I go with the flow on girls' trips. Like I'm like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna be, because it's like,
if it's like, I'm gonna be.
We all have to go with the flow to make it the best.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
My mom raised me well. If it's someone's birthday and it's like a wedding, I'm whatever. Sure, whatever.
Yeah,
like
bitches
be sorry. They be going on weddings and have all these activities. Like there was like a workout activity. Like I get it. It's your
like hot yoga,
right? You're like shit that
in the morning when everybody's like hungover. Like
don't invite me to work out on a trip. I'm not gonna work out on a trip. Y'all be working out? See, that's the we would not go.
Sometimes
I think we're seeing right now.
No.
But I'm not gonna force it on you. I'm gonna be like, do you want to go on a run?
But
and if you decline,
people be like,
it's cool.
I'm not gonna force you to work out, and they judge you the whole time. Like this bitch don't even work out.
It's like, but also, you come back from a run and you're like, you're still in bed, like
right? And shit like that would piss me off. Yes, I'm on vacation.
Now, but do you guys have like that friend who like? I have the friend who plans everything. We're 8 o'clock, we're doing this. 10 o'clock, we're doing.
I'm a project manager.
Yeah, I love the project manager.
Really?
Shout out Ophi in my friend group. She has an Excel sheet of expenses down
everybody
to
needs
the cent.
Yeah, because people be trying to play you on trips. Like, oh, I have you. No, bitch, Venmo me right now. But I've also, you gotta think about it. I've also been traumatized. So I'm not just being a bitch.
I'm wondering what's going on.
I just been traumatized so many times. Like, I just been traumatized.
In what sense?
Like with friends, with girls. Like my best friend from high school, we broke up in Las Vegas. We broke up.
Tell us about that. Whoa.
I mean, it's kind of messy.
We like that.
Long story short.
Yeah, long cliff notes.
Okay, I'll give you the cliff notes. I don't know if I'm gonna tell the story really well, but you know, when you're in Vegas, people are gambling, and that's the other thing. Everyone reacts to things very differently. So like, I know that when I gamble, I'm gonna probably lose money. She had like lost $200 in the room, and she didn't know like who took it. So it was me and her, and then $200 went missing. And she accused me of taking her money. I'm like, yo, I've been your friend you think I would sit here and take $200? I'm like, I can give you $200 now. So like, we kind of broke up over like the weird vibes in Vegas. It got a little bit more complicated.
Well, yeah, because then it says like how she's viewing you. It's
I'm like, bitch, I've been your friend forever.
Yeah.
Like, you think I'm gonna take $200 from you? Roll back the tape, you know? Like, roll back the tape.
Security tape.
So I ended up breaking up with her. We had also been like roommates, I think. It was such a long time. It was early in my 20s. We had been roommates, I think, after that trip. And it was just like, we just didn't work out as friends.
Did you like unfollow her and everything? Like it's a wrap?
I mean, I follow her now. Like,
okay.
I'm
really
like,
cool.
There's some people that you just follow for engagement so you can get likes on your thing.
You're like, you're solid. You stay like in my stuff, engaging.
Wait, did you have to fly back with her?
Yeah, I can't. You know what? I don't remember all the details of the trip, but I just know that she got on my. She was just really annoying and anal, and that was really annoying to me. And it's like she always felt like she was better than everybody. I'm like, bitch, I'm your best friend. Don't be trying to play with me. But she was one of those friends that I had from high school that you have like a dynamic where they're kind of like the leader, and I'm just like, so I was like, we just had to break up eventually.
Yeah, is that hard to like break out? Like I know in high school everybody has kind of their role, right? Like,
Right.
One's a leader, one's the jokester, one's like the one that's like inner feelings. Like, what were you guys?
Oh my God.
I was always
Like right now or in high school?
Like in high school, then is it like does it continue now?
I was a class clown, but I was like an
Yeah.
AP bio class clown. So bitch,
So you were really like
I
the
was
class
a
clown
smart.
because everybody else there was
everybody
probably
was
like,
smart, but I was like, what is an organism? Is it an orgasm kind of class clown? You know, like, but it's AP bio. So I've always been like a clown. You know, so like
Right,
I've
right.
always like, even though I know that people think I look bitchy.
Okay, you do give a little resting
Right, but I'm not.
bitch face,
I'm very.
But you're not. Yeah.
I'm very like, I'll adapt to whatever you guys want to do. I'll just adapt to that energy, right? But I've always been that friend. But sometimes people take advantage of that energy,
Oh,
and they start trying to like tell you
100%.
what to do. And I was like, no, bitch.
Are you like the kind of girl that like stands up for your friends, like in a fight, or like
One
like,
thing
you'd be
about
like,
me, you're not gonna talk bad about my friends. Like one time, I had some guy DM me and like say something crazy about one of my comedy friends. I'm like, don't talk about it. Like I will fight you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
like
talk-
if you didn't feel
yeah.
comfortable saying something about my friends in front of me,
No,
like, that's not good.
What do you like? Somebody talks bad
Yeah,
about
like
my
if somebody's
friend?
like sitting here talking about my friend to me, it's like, why do you even feel comfortable telling
No,
me this
I
information?
will fight you. Like, don't talk about my friends.
But do you guys ever vent with your girlfriends about another girl in the girlfriend group though?
See, this is
I've done it.
I don't do
in
girlfriend
high
groups.
I've done it.
school.
Probably
I'm
in high
done with that
school.
now.
Yeah,
in
that's
high
that's the
school.
problem
Yeah.
with group chats. Like, it's always that's why I don't do group chats anymore, because I always feel like people are ganging up on me.
No, but you know what's weird about group chats? I didn't know.
I'm the one that
didn't
doesn't
know-
respond to group chats. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, oh, peeking.
I
here.
mean,
I
we
didn't
saw-
know
no,
till
kidding.
recently that girls have group chats and then they have their separate group chats within the group chat.
That's what I'm saying.
and
I
that's
don't-
like that
like a
low key,
secret
like,
society.
Like I don't care, but like damn.
No,
why
Ivana,
am I
it's
not
giving
in
you
that?
care. It's giving you. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
It's like why wouldn't you want my input in this separate?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, people just
Conversation.
naturally gravitate to certain people, right?
Exactly.
So, like, for me, I
Exactly.
don't do groups. Like, I always do. Like, in high school, I always had like one best friend at a time. And I started noticing in comedy, like, if I just need to have one person at a time.
Okay,
But
I
I
have
can
groups.
hang around a group, but I don't want to be in a girl group. Like, I don't think I would do well. Like,
Well,
if I
are
was
you
in
still
Destiny
friends
Shaw.
with your friends from high school? Like your best friends from high school?
No, that's the girl. I remember I dumped her in
So
Vegas.
you had one
Yeah.
friend in high school?
No, I had people in high
But
school.
you like, yeah, I mean, time passes and like your
Yeah.
life changes and you go on different chapters. I feel like people
Yeah,
are there
I don't
for like
think
a
I've
I'm
talked-
season.
still best friend
I
with
don't-
all
No.
my high school girls.
I actually-
but I also only went to an all girls school, so we only had each other. Like we know each other. Like we had no boys to distract us. We had no one to like look cool for.
Which
we were like
keeps
real
you guys from getting drama.
homies. Yeah, like,
Without the boy issue,
oh my God,
that's
if
what
I
causes
had
a lot of
boy
the
in
drama.
my class, it's a wrap. I wouldn't have studied. I wouldn't have stood up and like
I'm
said a
done.
speech. I wouldn't have done anything.
Said a speech. That was
Yeah.
deep.
But you know, like
Yeah.
if somebody's like, okay, didn't have the answer, I was like, yeah, I got the answer. I wouldn't care to be wrong.
Yeah,
So
having
like,
guys
okay.
in high school
Oh my God.
made things complicated.
So my
for
girls
sure.
and I, we have so much confidence, not because like we're confident 'cause we're cool, because we're confident because we never had anyone to like make us like be embarrassed about it, put down at all.
That's so
we
interesting.
We were our true selves all through high school.
Yeah, I definitely got very put down in high school.
See, like
and
that would have changed me and ruined me.
it was horrible.
Yeah,
But that's why I'm friends
Okay.
with all my girlfriends from high school. We just had a trip to Joshua Tree last weekend.
That's different. Like, I feel like those are your sisters
They're my
for life.
sisters.
Yeah,
And that's
I don't
why I
talk to
love
none
going
of the
to an
bitches from
all-girls
high school. They can all suck my dick.
I'm in a group chat with my high school friends, but it's like mostly guys and guys and girls. It's like
So
a
you guys,
mix.
what about middle school?
I was bullied in middle school.
Okay. Jessica's being through it.
I was
Somebody
bullied.
slept.
So I went to like Catholic middle school, and it
Were
was
you
like this.
bullied?
I was bullied. Yeah, I was
For
bullied.
what?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
because I
don't
was
remember?
like such a tomboy. And okay, so basically, I went to school with the same 28 people, kindergarten through 8th grade. Same.
Sorry, I'm having an
28
epiphany.
people.
Maybe I'm the
Same
problem.
28
Wait, so
people.
did I.
Sorry.
So did I.
Yeah, okay,
Sorry.
so the girls in my school, like it was like 5 of them and they were like really girly girls. And I was like, I just want to play soccer and run. And like, I was raised by my dad who was really tough. So I didn't really relate to them. Also, they'd make fun of me because my mom had an accent, because like my mom was like,
Were they white?
they were, yeah.
Oh.
They were white. I don't have,
Sorry.
again, like, that was just my experience. It was a mostly, like, Caucasian area. So I did grow up feeling different and feeling, like, really put down. And
Really?
they would say some pretty horrible things. I remember, and when you're younger, it hits you harder. But I remember, like, a girl coming up to me and saying, I was holding some, like, lost and found sweaters that I would go collect at recess. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, to, like, help out school. But then a girl came up to me, she's like, Jessica, you look like my maid at home.
No, that's not bullying. That's
Yeah.
racism.
Yeah, well,
Wait, are you serious?
I had a horrible time in middle school.
That's
elementary
messed
school.
up. 'Cause
Yeah,
I went to
yeah.
school with all. I was the only Latina in my school too, but I never thought that was a thing. Like I was like, because my mom and dad raised me so like proud to be Colombian. So I was like, I'm Colombian.
Yeah.
I was like, here's some arepas. Like they were like, what this crazy lady is doing?
Oh my
But,
God, you
like,
used to give out arepas in school?
But as I got older, yeah, there was like moments that I didn't realize when I was younger. Like they'd be like, go back to the south of the border. And I was like, what? Because I'm not even Mexican. So I was like confused. I remember one time,
Ivana,
somebody
that's
called me a
also
wetback.
bullying.
No, I know, but I was like, I felt like they were just stupid. I was like, you guys are stupid.
That's a really
Yeah.
good perspective.
No, like somebody called me a wetback, and I swear on my life, I went home and I was like, Dad, what's a wetback? Because I literally had no idea. And he was like, oh, it's like, and he said what he had to say, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
So
And
what
if
did you
you-
do after you found out? Did you go address them?
No, I was just like, I just think that they're fools. Like I'm so proud of being Latina. So I had no.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever. You don't know the good life. You don't.
that's a fact.
You
You
can
don't
get on
know
my
we got it
back
good.
and
That's
go
a
anywhere
fact.
else you want, but you don't know the good life. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
don't
that-
want to defend myself.
That's really cool that you had that mentality. When I was younger and there was like nobody else, we didn't have social media, so I didn't turn on the TV and see people. I think Selena, that's why I was so obsessed with the Selena movie, because I was like, oh my God, she like is literally me. That's where that representation matters and stuff. But yeah, so the only friend I still have from middle school is the only friend I really had, Angelina. Shout
out to Angelina.
Yeah, she was definitely there for me. She
I like
liked
her.
Angelina, we like
Yeah,
her.
Well,
we love
I'm not
Angelina.
friends with anyone from middle school, high school, or college. Only my best friend from college, Liz.
Do you feel like you have like it's hard for you to stay friends with people?
It's not that I will cut you off. Like I just feel like but you have to understand these are all like no shade. A lot of people are just doing like status quo stuff. Like I'm a comedian, so like people don't understand the lifestyle.
So what is it
of-
going to take for someone to be real homegirls with you? Like,
well,
what about-
I have a best friend now, and we've been best. Like we I think we bond over comedy. So like we've been friends for 4 years straight, like no issues. But I'm like, I always tell her like, I wish you were the friend I had in high school.
So is it because you're able to tell jokes to her and they don't get offended? And maybe
No,
the people
I've never said anything offensive to anybody.
Like, do the jokes that you like what I'm saying is that because you're a comedian and like so I say jokes all the time. Like sometimes I'm sure you say things that offend people and they can't handle the heat.
I mean, I don't even know how to say this without sounding crazy. I've just always been like a shiner, and people don't like. No, I know. I
They
don't
wanna
want
dim your light.
Yeah,
You've
I've just
always
always
been
been a
like,
shiner.
same.
So
I mean,
people
same.
don't like that sometimes, and they want to bring your. So I've always like, for example, she was very close friends in college, and I'm like, yo, like I'm working on this. I'm in this magazine. I'm gonna bring you with me, and she would always be really upset about me making progress. So I had to start carving parts of myself down so that she could feel comfortable. So I've always been around people that just weren't comfortable with me getting a lot of attention. So now the friends that I have, they all give me, like none of us are in competition with I was never in
Right.
competition with anybody, but we're very, like, I'm like, she really nourishes my soul. So it's like, we are good friends to each other. But I'm listening to your stories. It sounds like you guys came from 2-parent households, went to private school. I went to New York Department of Education.
Yeah, very
It is
different.
crazy out there. It's really save your own, everybody from themselves. And so I just didn't have good friends growing up. And
But have you ever been cut off by a friend?
Oh,
like,
I don't-
like that you still want to be friends with them. They were like, nah,
I don't
we're
think
done.
I've been cut off.
I've been cut off by a friend, but it's because I was friends with someone she didn't like, and it had nothing to do with me, which also happens a lot of times in female friendships. It's like if you're friends with someone that I don't get along with, therefore you and me are no longer cool. And it's happened to me mostly in the industry, to be honest. It's not with so much my high school or just like my everyday friends. It's like more so my friendships in the industry. It's like, oh, you're friends with this person, I no longer like you or will engage with you anymore. And it's like,
Well,
I had
a little-
nothing to do with this. This person has, been nothing but kind of.
I think it's different when
It's a
you're
tricky
a person
situation.
that's friends with everybody. Like I have rules. Again, I'm a very like I feel like I'm very guarded and very New York. I'm like, if you are everybody's your friend type of person, I'll be cool with you, but you can't be my best friend because you're just gonna be friends. Like I don't feel like that's a loyalty thing.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think if I've been cut off. I haven't been.
Like, have you ever been in the wrong with a homegirl? And
I have. I've definitely
and, like,
been
you are the reason why she's like, the opposite of what other girls were doing.
I think for me, like I'm very much like when somebody tells me they want to get a goal done, I will push you to get that done. And people don't like to be held accountable. So I could be a little bit pushovery,
Blunt.
whatever. So I stopped giving out advice. Like I was very unsolicited advice type of person. Like I'm like, I'll tell you, like if I would just be giving out advice and people don't like that. So I did get kicked out of a group chat in 2018, but I just felt like they weren't supporting me. Like I felt like it was a group of 3 of us and they would always hang out and they would just leave me out of shit because I was doing comedy and I didn't like that. So I was like, we just grew apart. But But we've done since reconnected. Like I reconnected one of the girls. I'm like, yo.
Have you ever been in the wrong?
Have I? I'm sure, yeah. I'm sure everybody has. Like, I haven't been the perfect friend. Like, I think everybody, you live and you learn and you make mistakes. Like, I'm sure I've made mistakes with some of my friends. But the thing is, with my friends, they tell me when I'm messing up, or like they tell me when I'm being, not what they need in their life in that moment. And then it's just a quick fix. You don't get offended by it. You're just like, okay, all right, this is where I need to elevate. This is where I need to improve.
Yeah, and I think that some people get offended when you're like, yo, like you hurt my feelings. And it's really annoying when someone tries to invalidate, like, oh, you're just being, no, I'm telling you, you hurt my feelings. Let's work through it. Yeah. And if people keep invalidating you, then we're not a good fit. Like,
one of my best friends did that to me not too long ago, like maybe a month. She's like, okay, so we had gone out and something had happened. And she's like, okay, so this maybe, I didn't really like, and it had to do with somebody else, right? And I was like, you know what? You are so right. I thought I was doing the right thing in that moment. But now that I'm hearing your perspective, and she was so thankful that I like took, her feelings into consideration and I didn't just get defensive.
Yeah, I actually I welcome when a friend is like, this is what you did. And like, they do it in a way that's not attacking. It's like, you know what I mean? And so instead of me being defensive about it, I'm like, you're right. I'm sorry for doing that. And I welcome it because we all need to evolve. We all need to get better. Like, and if you drink and you go out with your friends, things happen, you don't mean it, and people take it the wrong way. Like, there's just so many ways that you can like become a better friend if you listen. But you kind of like, it's hard to evolve with somebody you've known your whole life.
Yeah, that's also hard. I just feel like in my 20s, I didn't have the tools to communicate effectively. Like I would just be like, I'm gonna ghost you. I'm gonna just shut down. I'm gonna leave the group chat. I'm not talking to you for 2 weeks. But now it's just like, yo, like I'm telling you 2 times, if we don't get along, then we don't get. And sometimes you can still be friends with people. They don't have to be that close to you.
You
like
put people in shelves.
I literally have
a shelf for every
you know
friend.
who to give your energy to. Like I can pick and choose who I want to give my energy to.
Not every friend is gonna be a good friend for every part of your life.
If you said that you don't have that many friends, girlfriends, who's gonna be at your bridal shower?
So I've been first of all, I do. Let me just clarify. I do have a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of very close friends. Like I'm very
exactly. So who are you gonna choose to be at your maid of honor bridal shower?
I've been thinking about that a lot. No one's asked me to get married, but I have been thinking about that, and I think I'm gonna do like the Gabrielle Union type of thing where it's just me and my man, and you guys just everyone's invited. I don't
party.
Yeah, because it just becomes like I hate being in like weird dynamics. Like when it's like, oh, you forgot to invite somebody to like, let's say I put everyone in my bridal shower and I leave someone out. Now they're gonna have a fucking problem. But I'm gonna have a bachelorette party.
I think that if we didn't have this podcast, we probably wouldn't kick it. Just because we are in different
We don't know that, Ivana. We don't know that.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Just because we're like, I don't know about you. I'd kick it with you.
I love these women.
But I say like we wouldn't. Our circles are all so different.
Yeah, I love you guys.
Have you like always dreamt of your wedding? Like for me, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I have never once been like, I'm gonna wear this dress and I want their flowers. And I have never.
I have a whole Pinterest board.
I already know.
And TikTok
I already know what I want.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know the vibes. I know everything.
It needs to be perfect.
I want like a, I want like a farmhouse style wedding.
Yo, this girl and her farms. Oh my God.
We need a farmer to come right now and take you over.
In nature, and it just be like.
What's your home decor style? Is it farm rustic?
I like modern farmhouse.
Okay.
I feel like that's so homey.
Okay, that's cute.
What about your dress?
I stay following all the wedding page dresses.
So what would you imagine yourself wearing?
I don't know. There's so many like different looks. I probably would do 2.
Do you have cowboy boots?
No.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute, Jessica.
Yeah, that's cute. Cowboy
That's
boots,
cute.
dress.
Cowboy. Like you can do like a photo shoot with your cowboy boots.
Yeah.
The photo shoot maybe.
Yeah. You gotta bring the cowboy boots are essential to your brand now. I'm gonna do a courthouse wedding.
Courthouse wedding?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a very private wedding because I just have so many friends and people that are gonna come to this party, and I don't want to pay for everybody's plate. It doesn't matter how rich I am. I'm gonna do a very intimate courthouse and then a celebration of love where everybody can be
just
invited. Yeah. Y'all making me feel like I'm a bad friend.
Why?
Because I don't have like a group of girlfriends. I just don't like. I just feel like. I'm trying to say this in the most PC way. Sometimes there can be certain dynamics that I like to avoid in a bit. It doesn't have to just be women in a group of friendship. Like there's just always like a dynamic. I don't like dealing with like power struggles, any of that stuff.
So
like,
how do you feel about like friends that you introduce, like friends that become friends because of you?
You know what's annoying to me when they start doing shit without me.
Okay,
don't fucking leave me out.
Like,
yes.
It's annoying because taking that personally. I'm like, whatever.
No, I don't take it personally. I just feel like people sometimes bond better. They do, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be mad at you, but it's like damn bitch, like, you know what's annoying? Like when you make friends with someone and then they give you a life update. Like let's say we're in a group chat together. We made friends and then you give me an update like, oh, Jessica just broke up with her man. And I'm like, damn, like I have to find out through you, not through like I thought we was all friends.
Yeah.
Like shit like that gets on my nerves a little bit.
Yeah, I remember making friends with this girl that I would introduce her to someone, and then the next week she'd hit them up to go get lunch, just them two. But it happened with multiple of my friends.
That's kind of weird.
Like
So
that
shows
of my friends.
that's a red flag.
No, oh yeah, and then
That's
I
a red
remember
flag.
she had like
Can I
a
ask
birthday
a
party, and then
clarifying-
invited like her, like the majority of them being like mostly my friends, and I was like, okay, that's a little weird.
Some people want your life.
A little
Can I ask a
weird.
clarifying question? Because I think what's happening here is that are we talking about regular friends or industry friends?
Shoes?
So like it could be, I think sometimes it could be different when it's like, oh, if we were just regular friends, go hang out. You guys are bonding. But like industry friends, some people start to use that friendship shit to like clout chase.
Or, like,
and then
social
they just
climb.
and it's just like,
Yeah, but sometimes
I thought
you
you really
vibe
wanted to
with
be my
like
friend.
comedians. You vibe with a comedian, and you're like, I want to be your homegirl because she's dope, and I feel her energy, and we could click. So like maybe God in the universe brought that friend so you could meet your real homegirl.
I
So
guess-
I'm really like us three. I think that if we didn't have this podcast, we probably wouldn't kick it just because we are in different
we don't know
groups.
that, Ivana. We don't know that.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Just because we're like in
I'm like, I don't know about you. I'd kick it with you.
I love these women.
Okay.
Okay.
No, but I'm saying like we wouldn't. Our circles are all so
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, I love you guys.
It can, but like
Yeah,
sometimes you need to have the opportunity to meet somebody with like a non-biased slate. You know what I mean?
This is what I do. Sometimes my friend, she'll be around like I made friends with someone and they asked me to be in a sketch. I'm like, yo, like this is your friend. Like, are you comfortable? And I hate.
I'll ask first.
I wasn't
Yeah.
like it's asking for permission, but I'm aware that this is your friend and you put me onto this opportunity or network. Like, are you cool with it?
100%.
I'm gonna still do what I want to
Yeah,
do.
that's
but I'm
respectful.
just
That's respectful.
Towards the beginning,
I feel
yeah.
that.
And then
I feel
once you
that.
start establishing a friendship and you guys are genuinely friends, it's like, I'm not going to tell you every single time.
No, yeah,
but
yeah,
towards
yeah.
the beginning, it's like, hey, like,
Yeah.
I reached out
Is
to
it
your
cool?
friend. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a respect thing.
I
I
agree.
don't know.
Okay, I
But-
know this is weird, but like, have you ever like not invited a friend because aesthetically they're not part of like the event
Oh,
vibe?
it's giving
Like,
Libra.
be honest. Like, be honest.
Wait, what do you mean?
Have
Okay.
you, like, say you have a friend, maybe
Okay.
she has her own little aesthetic, her own vibe, and you love her one-on-one. You guys kick it, your best friends, but like, you wouldn't take her to a party or an event
Because you're scared she'll like act up or
No,
something?
it just
No,
isn't
'cause
the
she-
same
like, maybe
vibe.
like her outfit, like we're
There's-
all, like a rapper invites us out.
Yeah,
so whatever.
us three, and it's like your
And
home
like,
girl
y'all
that's
leave-
like doesn't dress whatever. Different, just different. Are you like come with us, like just come, or are you like do you
I'ma bring
compartmentalize
everybody.
that?
I feel like I'll know which one of my friends would vibe with which type of event and would actually have
Right.
fun and it wouldn't be forced and they wouldn't feel out of place.
Yeah.
So I tried to do the math in my own head, like, okay, this girl would fit this better vibe and I think she'll actually enjoy herself instead of
Yeah.
her just being there like uncomfortable and awkward.
And sometimes
you know?
I tell my friends, don't invite me. Like, I know you're about to do some like really fancy event. Don't bring me to that. I don't want to have to pretend to be cool. Leave me out of Like in Hollywood, everybody's so cool.
But
and
can't you just
posh.
be real, keep yourself with these?
No, but it's sometimes like I feel like this is what I'm learning. I'm new to Hollywood. Thank you, everybody. That
Welcome,
Hollywood
welcome.
is very networky, right? So like if that network doesn't get along and you are outlier, it's gonna be kind of weird for you to be there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like if it's like a bunch of rappers and like that's not really my vibe. I'm gonna make like you're gonna feel like you're babysitting me at the event, and I don't want to be babysat.
Yes,
Yeah, like it's
I would agree
I'm
with that.
totally fine. Please leave me out. I don't want to have to pretend. But that's me. That's where I'm at. in
Are
my
they
life.
allowed to rock their own aesthetic at your wedding though? Like when it comes to your events?
No, at my wedding, I have rules.
Yeah? Are you gonna have like
Absolutely.
no kids, no the
Actually,
that's like
no,
a thing at
no
weddings,
kids.
no kids.
Yeah,
I could see
it's
that.
my wedding. It's my money. Well, my husband's money.
My husband and his family's money.
And his family and the hedge funds, because I'm dreaming big. And I don't even know what a hedge fund is, but it's all of that.
But it sounds right. It sounds right. I feel like
A
you
trust
use it.
fund, trust
Yeah,
fund.
trust fund
You
is
use it
a
in the right
real
context.
thing. I learned about trust funds. People be hiding their money in trust funds. Make sure you know where the money's at. And
offshore accounts.
Right. And what? In short stocks?
Offshore
And
accounts.
offshore accounts. I'm learning.
Okay, speaking
I don't
of
know what
that,
that
do you
means
guys
either,
become
but-
friends with somebody that has things that you could like benefit off, like trust funds?
This is what I say.
Like, does that appeal to you more to have a girlfriend
No.
that's like has access to many things, that has like a lot of money, that's like, or do you not care about that kind of stuff?
For me, I really believe you become the 5 people you hang around the most. So like,
I
if
do
I
too.
feel like I always feel like in my friendships, I'm like, what am I contributing to this friendship? Like everybody, Socrates or Aristotle, one of them, they actually have like a thing. This is a great time to pull it up. They say
Yeah, Aristotle.
that there's only 3 reasons why you'll be friends with someone. And I don't know the 3 reasons, but I remember that I was reading. I studied this in college.
Yeah. I heard about that.
Sorry, don't edit that out. Sorry. But there are 3 reasons why people are friends. It's just like you really, really like mutually care about this person. There's like a networking benefit. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I compartmentalize my friends,
It's an
but like
equal
I think
exchange.
Like I think this person's my friend because they probably think I'm gonna put them on a comedy show. Like I really feel that.
You know, when you make industry friends, you kind of know why people maybe gravitate towards you, which is why it kind of keeps you on edge sometimes. That's why
Thank you. I was
with
just gonna
friends,
say that.
and especially like when you meet them in the industry, it's like, okay, are you really my friend? Because I have had friends that I know use me. I know
really?
use
In
me.
what sense?
Like use me to like social climb. Like I'll bring them to like, okay, for instance, I'm really cool with the people at like LAFC. I'll bring them to that game and I'll be like, oh, come meet like the guy that does all the marketing. Cool.
Right.
And then next thing I know, they're hitting them up the next week, asking them to go to lunch. Only certain friends that I know that they know they could benefit from.
That's what I'm
saying. And then that's why
saying.
like my guard is up sometimes meeting people in this space, right? If I'm just meeting a random girl that doesn't know anything about what I do, I feel so much more relaxed. Right?
Interesting.
And that's why sometimes when people are like, oh, what's your Instagram? Let's follow each other. Sometimes I'm like, oh, no.
That
I'd rather
sucks
not.
because, like, do you think that people that are famous or that, have a well-known, they can't trust anybody that wants to be friends with them?
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
What about, like, boys that are famous? Like, do they feel like all the girls that are trying to get with them?
I think they know that, but
That
they're okay
sucks,
with
though.
it. If they're in that phase of where they're wanting to hook up with girls, they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna use this to my benefit. But I'm sure in the long run, when they actually want to find like a genuine partner that's like a ride or die girl, she's not there for the wrong reasons. That has to be so hard.
Can I just talk about Socrates real quick before because this is a really good conversation. But I want to say the 3 reasons why this is what Socrates. Or I think it was Aristotle. It was one of them. But this is what they said. This is why people are friends. It's either because of truth, goodness, or usefulness. Like some people are just your friend because you are useful to them. Oof. Or like this is literally like a whole thing.
So what are we?
We are friends because we're starting a podcast together. So thank you. Everyone is eating.
So truth,
no we don't know,
goodness.
but
I
we're
think
still
it's truth, goodness, and usefulness.
I think it's actually truth, goodness, and usefulness.
I think it's bing. But I think we talked about it in the beginning when we started this project where it's like, we all kind of like vetted each other out. Like, what's your background? What are you doing? And I think I was like, and I told my friend, went back, I'm like, I'm happy I'm doing this with women that are evolved. Because imagine you're doing this with, there are women or people, it's not just women, that are just like, they care about different things. I think that we all have very strong things we care about. You're very family oriented, career focused, comedy. Yeah. I'm just here, So I'm like, it was like, you're
I think there's more I think there's a lot more we're gonna unfold of Gloria, but we're trying to keep it cool right now. We're gonna break it open and pour it out. Thank you. So have you ever had to set boundaries with friends that have kept it really real with you? Because you're like, I can't handle that.
Not really. I was raised with like a tough dad.
I think if you're really good friends, you wouldn't feel weird about setting a boundary.
Yeah.
I think if you're that close, I'd be like, yo, bitch, you got my nerves today. I think just to go back to the industry thing, it's really hard to be in the industry and I always feel a little bit nervous. Like this person, I always like, what do they want from me? Everybody wants something from you. Some people generally want a true friendship.
I never feel.
But what do you have to think about it, Ivana. I'm in there every day.
Where in the comedy
streets? In the comedy streets.
In the industry.
In the streets.
Yeah, where are you at?
Right,
I'm like, what street? I want to go to that street.
Right, and every day, like comedy is very much like opportunity oriented. Like it's just like if your friend, if they like you, they put you on a show, and then you just kind of go from there to there. So some people like when they're like, oh, this girl produces a show, I want to be around her because I want to get on a show.
But you're so grown now. You can decipher.
Ivana, let's take you. You know what? We gotta do an exploration episode. Let's bring you into so you can.
Yeah,
and I say all the time.
There's some weird shady stuff going on.
Let me give you a metaphor. You're on a TV show and you're like, let's say you bring a friend like, yo, I want you to meet like the casting director. And then they like, actually, we kind of like, let's put her in the show, and they write you off the script. You're not gonna be tight?
I mean, yeah.
Exactly.
But that's why for me, when it comes to friendship, like what I base it off is integrity and like morals and principles. Like if they have the same integrity and morals and principles as me, or that someone that I would look up to, like I mess with you.
But how do you know that? Like, because some people are liars.
I know liars. Yeah. I've been liars. But you have like one chance.
But give me
you lie to me once, I'm done.
Call back.
You're done.
She didn't know her best friend for 15 years was gonna turn her back. I
get that.
What's the name of the guy in the Bible that turned his back on Jesus?
Judas.
She was gonna Judas her.
So what do you bring to a friendship? What do you bring to a friendship?
I bring thoughtfulness. Am I being interviewed?
thoughtful, but what does that,
I'm
what does
just
that mean? What does
curious.
that mean?
Thoughtfulness is like, for example, I'm gonna say something transparent. I used my friend's face wash. It was very expensive, and I used all of it. And for me, I was like, I know that was annoying, so I'm gonna replace it without you even having to ask.
Yeah.
That's the kind of friend that I am.
No,
I will
that's what
replace
you're
your luxury
supposed to do.
moisturizer. Wait, first of all,
That's what you have to do.
okay,
That's not thoughtfulness.
Ivana,
That is normal. And I feel that same way.
I hear you, but
There's
are
levels
people,
to friendship.
there's-
That
I know,
is
but
the
there are
lowest.
people
There
that
are
is like,
people
I'm
that
gonna
will be
just take and I'm
entitled.
not gonna just replace it. Like everything, I'm always like I'm just a giver. Like
No,
I'm saying,
that
some
is
people,
a thief. That's what like if there's just somebody's taking it
first
out,
of all,
that's a thief.
First of all, I asked her if I could use it. I didn't know it was really expensive. I was like, damn, like
Okay.
I didn't know that shit was a 63. When I found out, I was like, you know what? But I'm saying that there are a lot of people that will take from you and they won't even replenish.
Yeah.
No,
Are we
yeah,
gonna-
yeah.
Yeah, no,
I feel
yeah.
like when you that's how you can feel when you leave a hangout.
This
you
bitch called me a
either
thief. Sorry. now
You
my feelings
either
are
feel
hurt.
like when
Sorry.
you leave a hangout, you either could feel depleted,
Yes.
or you feel like, damn, that was so fun. I can't wait to come
Yes,
back.
yes.
Yeah.
You guys.
You know when you
that is
text your
number
friends
one.
after like, I love you guys so much. Thank you for having me over.
Right.
That's when you know that you're with the right people.
Yes.
When you
Yeah.
leave and you're thinking like, damn, that sucked, or like that vibe was
Or you
off,
feel like
or
you have to
ugh.
pretend to be somebody you're
Yeah,
not. There
that's
are
a
lot-
nightmare.
I think that there's a problem. A lot of us in this chat today we're grown. Like we've gone through a lot of heartbreak, whatever. So now we have discernment. But there are a lot of people out there that don't have that. And they're stuck in friendships that they have to pretend to keep up.
That is so exhausting.
And I think it's, I know,
Can't
but it's
imagine.
not our reality.
No,
but
but I'm
they're-
telling
yeah,
all those
it's
girls, you
people's
guys, you have a
reality.
chance to get out.
But some
of
people,
that.
like for example, if you grew up in a very like rich society, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
feel like you have to follow these
Yeah.
rules.
No, yeah,
social
for
rules.
sure.
Well,
Social rules
every
for
group
that.
has like a social rule. It's like a weird thing. It's a theory
No,
thing.
it's
I also
true.
studied that in college.
But it's
Damn,
true
you-
though, because think about
What
it.
college did you go to? I wanna go.
Every single
Tell me about
person
something.
operates on a different wavelength. So
For
if you
sure.
and your friends don't align on the same
No,
things,
yeah.
look, they're either gonna bring you down and you're gonna have to go down to their level, or you're gonna have to elevate. And I would prefer
Right.
to be around
Down-
people that are elevated and are more like, they're clear with their mental thought. They actually have emotional intelligence, as opposed to people that just, because people can genuinely weigh you down. Like, I
For
don't think you
sure.
understand. Analyze every single person that's in your friend group. And I get it. There's friends that you've been with, friends with for forever. But if they're people that are weighing you down, sometimes a little bit of space is not a bad thing. Especially if you're
Right.
like, you
I
know
agree.
what? I'm tired of the same bullshit. I don't want to
Right.
get drunk every weekend, or like, I
That's-
don't want to do
that's
this
what
every
I'm
weekend.
saying.
Or like,
And
I want to
also,
prioritize
like,
different things.
you
You
could-
have to find friends that also want that.
It becomes black and white when you see somebody who doesn't evolve with you emotionally or like spiritually. Like for me, the biggest thing is spirituality. Like if you don't have the evolution in spirituality, for me, it could be whatever. It could be believing in God. It could be nature, resting, whatever. Then like for me, we cannot connect because I'm vibing
I'm
off
operating
the
differently.
spirit.
You know what my
molecule.
friend asked me? I had made a new friend, and she's like, so my other friend is very like super smart. She's like, what are you and this other person connect on? And I've had to like, that's every time I go into a friendship, like, what are we connecting on? Are we connecting on the parties? Are we connecting on like we need to have a reason why we're connecting? And if that is, like you have to like you were saying, you have to evaluate what that is.
But like like for me, when I kick it with my cousins, like those are my homies.
Yeah, those
Because-
are my best
because
friends.
they
That's
love
a little
you
different.
unconditionally.
Those are my best
But they're
friends.
still your homies. It's
No,
not like
yeah.
you're like
I love my cousins.
You're not talking about family stuff. You're just kicking it with no rules.
I would say that's the thing.
That's a real
Those
friend.
are my best friends. Like my cousins.
Yeah?
Like I feel like I don't have a lot of like. I do have girlfriends, but when I think about my closest friends, is always my cousins.
Yeah?
Like we'll do a girls' night. We'll talk shit. We'll laugh. Like that's my
But
core.
why is that? What do you think the biggest difference between your
It's
cousins?
blood.
There's just no judgment. Like I will take like my cousins. I take you unconditionally. Like we've been through everything together. Those are my bitches for life. But other people like it's just I don't know. Like people be annoying.
But
I don't know about y'all, but they be annoying.
For the person that you meet on the street, or whatever, how do you become unconditional?
I don't need to be
love
friends with
that?
everybody.
No, but like
Okay.
the friends that you do have.
I think it's
It
showing
happens-
up. If they show up for
showing
me
up.
and I show up for them, and it's like consistent, and it's like you really you have to build it. It takes time. It takes effort.
time.
It takes, sometimes I feel myself meeting someone and being so open to them right away, and I let them in right away, and I'm like, yes, this person has great intentions for me. Come to find they don't. So I am now like, okay, it takes time. I wouldn't say I'm
It takes
close.
time. It's
but
a dating
now I'm like,
process.
you know what? I'm not jumping into any friendship, and I'm not going to assume you're this great person just because I've known you for a month and you've shown me that.
Is she dragging both of us?
I'm like nervous now.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm actually
I'm
joking.
kidding.
Someone else.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
In my
Yeah.
mind, I'm thinking of one girl in
No, yeah.
particular who I had already mentioned that. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, I really genuinely was like gonna be a ride or die for you. Like, couldn't wait to keep making memories with this girl, and then like she was just conniving behind my back.
That's nasty.
So shady. I mean, my other friend was like, Jess, this girl is literally doing character assassination. I don't know what this girl has. Come to find, like, this girl had been wanting to meet me for the longest time.
That's what I'm saying. She was a fan. She was a Yolanda, whatever her name was. What's her last name? Pull that up too. Saldivar. There are some Yolanda Saldivars out there. They want your life.
I'm like, what did I do to you, girl?
So why
nice
is
to
your
you.
actual best friend like? Why is she your best friend? Like, why do you love her?
Well, that's
like
a good question.
Like, why do you choose her out of all the best friends that you've had? Or the
Oh my
friends?
God. I have like 2 of them for sure. It's because they show up for me unconditionally. They don't judge me. They want to grow. They want to build. Like, they're super fun to go out with, but also I could sit there on a couch and cry with them and be like, dude, my life is falling apart. Like, or it feels like my life is falling apart. And I have one that's a little bit more like, I understand where you're coming from. And she's definitely like that like comfort, blanket for me. And then there's the other one that's a little bit more like, what are you doing, Jess? Like, she wants to shake me, and I love having both of them because sometimes I just need you to just not judge me, and then sometimes I need you to judge me.
No,
and tell me,
You know what it is when someone holds you,
Accountable.
Okay,
Like,
I need to be held
It's correction.
yeah.
Like, this person is not a yes person, but it's like, I accept you and all the stupidity, but this, I gotta let you know, like, I love you, and I feel like you're going down the wrong path. Like, it's someone that, like, whenever you have something on your face, like, they just pull it off, like, come over here.
So are you guys that friend? Are you guys honest? Or are you guys a little bit more like
I'm way too honest.
No.
I want you to be your best self, and I will tell it how it is, even if it hurts. Because
I
that's
think
the
it
only way you're gonna learn.
I think it depends.
You think it depends? I
No,
say how it is no
when
matter
I say
what.
it depends, like if I don't really know you that well, like I'm gonna still tell you got something in your teeth, but I'm not gonna be up in your face. So I think it's like a level of rapport of like, I have to be really close to you to tell you how I really, like not everyone is ready to receive advice. So
No,
like
that's true, but-
if you're just like, yo, I just met you and I'm gonna tell you like the boyfriend you're dating is dumb, I don't even know you like that, right? But it's like if we
I agree with that.
If we have a relationship, like I'm not gonna tell you that's, you should not be friends with this girl. I'm like, I don't think she's your friend. But if we're super close, I would tell you need to cut that bitch off immediately. It's levels to
And
friendship.
I also think
Well,
it comes
of
down
course,
to
yeah.
delivery because some people receive information brutal, like to the
Right.
point, like what are you doing, like blah blah A B C and D, and then other people need to be coddled a little bit. And I do recognize that in my friends, and some friends I'm a little bit more direct with because I know that's how they receive information. Other friends I'm like, you know what? Let me just kind of softly break it to you because you want them to receive the information and be open to it. Not everybody's gonna take information the same way.
So have you ever had to set boundaries with friends that have kept it really real with you? Because you're like, I can't handle that.
Not really. I was raised
This
with
is
like
what
a tough
I say.
dad.
I
like,
think if you're really
you know?
good friends, you wouldn't feel weird about setting a boundary.
Yeah.
I think if you're that close, I'd be like, yo, bitch, you got on my nerves today. Like that's how.
Yeah.
But again, remember, I'm from New York. Like that's how we set the
I've
boundaries.
never done that before.
You get on my nerves today. Boundary.
Yeah, you do have
Actually, the other day, like I said, I've been best friends with my friend for like we're about to go on 5 years, and the other day, we were both drinking, and I was like. We came up with a term. I'm like, I love you so much that you never get on my nerves. You're like a balloon. Like it gets big, but then it explodes. Like I'll never be too angry at you. Like we have a metaphor for like, it's like you get on my nerves. We say balloon around each other.
Wait,
Like
why?
But because sometimes your friends are annoying. Like this is what life is.
It is what it is,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, yo, you bitch balloon today. And,
Yeah.
and then it just, but it's a metaphor for like, I love you so much that you truly cannot get on my nerves. But right now in this moment, I'm a little irritated.
I really also think
Yeah.
I noticed this, like, nationality makes a difference. Like
In
with
friendship?
my Caucasian friends and my Latino friends, and like, I mean, it's night and day. Because with my Latino friends, we already have an understanding of how kind of like our lifestyle is, like our parents would be, like it's just different. It's almost like the barrier is completely gone, and we could be really real with each other. I think, but because I always had Caucasian friends,
Yeah.
and so we like live in two different worlds. Like my mom is very different than a lot of their mom. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a friend that's Caucasian, and sometimes she gets on my nerves, and I wonder, is it because she's white or it's because she's an Aries? And I really think it's because she's an Aries. Because like she's very unorganized, and I'm very structured. And I had to learn, like, when I tell myself, like, if I want to keep someone in my life, I have to accept them unconditionally. So I'm like, I just accept everything. And I also created a metaphor where I've told her about balloon too. You know, I'm
think-
easily annoyed. Sorry. I should tell that to
But
people before I give this
I
advice.
think that
Sorry.
friendships, when you really love somebody, like your best friend, like they could really, like the times I felt most bad about myself is when I've hurt one of my girlfriends. You know, like even if it was like I didn't mean to do it.
How
when
did you
they-
do
when-
that? How did you hurt
Just
them?
like, for example, recently, one of my friends, she really likes this guy, and I know in my heart he's not for her. And like, she wasn't ready to let him go or hear that. But the way that I would approach it, I had a couple of drinks and I was like, she was leaving our dinner to go see him again. And I was like, are you seriously going to see him again? Like, stop.
You got to let your friends
No, I get it.
Oh, yeah.
They're not talking anymore. But what I'm saying is like, she hit me up later and was like a whole paragraph being like, hey, I really didn't like the way that you approached that situation. Like, I understand that you think this, but it's not your business. And this is my life and my evolution, all this stuff. And my ego was like, I love you and I know you and I want to help you. But then my maturity was like, you're right. I'm sorry for being that way. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to push my agenda on somebody else.
Right.
So a lot of my friendships have helped me become a better person in like the worst moments. Or like, with little things that happen.
It's like delivery and timing.
When you go home after these fights, you sit and you're like, you feel bad
That's
inside.
the worst.
Because of
Fighting
yourself.
is so bad.
You're like, why did I do that to my friend?
Yeah.
So that has helped me evolve a lot as a person and like being able to not take things personally or realize that just because they're your best friend doesn't mean that you have authority over anything they are. You know what I mean?
Actually, I know we're about to wrap up, but I actually went through the reason why I'm like so like sheltered is because I went through a friendship breakup where my friend was in a domestic violence situation.
Oh, yeah.
And I was there for like years. And at the last time I was like, if you go back to him, I'm really cutting you off.
Same.
And that's why I fell out. I'm not trying to say I'm a bad friend, but
No, yeah.
I just couldn't be there anymore. I'm like, I'm not going to keep enabling this. And then something happened later and then she apologized. But sometimes you have to let your friends live their, like as much as you want to
Like
be there for them,
yeah.
they have to go through their own journey. All you can do is just be there for them. So that's the real reason why me and my friend broke up. I didn't want to say that, but
I mean, I've been in relationships where it was like super toxic, and my friends are like, again, like you're
But then you feel bad when they're judging you,
and then you feel because me being on that end of things, it would be to the point where I didn't even want to tell my friends because it was so embarrassing. You ever been through like an on and off toxic relationship where you couldn't even tell your friends you're back with them because you're like, this is so embarrassing.
Or
Like,
parents.
like
That's
me,
why
what am
I
I
stopped
doing?
telling my parents anything negative about who I'm dating.
I
Because
never
that's
tell
the
my
first
parents
thing they use.
anything.
Yeah.
They won't ever forget the bad things you say.
I don't tell
That's
my
a
mom
fact.
any
I'm done.
of the bad
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
And if you want me to be honest, I haven't even my closest friends, if I start talking to a guy, I don't even say, for the most part, I try to keep it as private as I can because this day and age, you talk to someone and then it happens and then it doesn't. And it's just like, unless it's real deal, then I'll talk about it. But also in relationships, I think it's so good to keep things in that relationship.
Yeah.
Because also the only thing you tell your friends for the most part, like, is like, oh, he did this or he annoyed me. So then what? It paints a really negative image of this guy, and your friends don't see all the beautiful, also great things that they do too. So I don't know.
Has keeping your relationship private served you in any way? Like, or served the relationship?
I think the
keeping
more
it
private, the better.
The private, the better. Unless he's doing crazy
I
shit, you
agree.
gotta tell somebody.
Yeah, unless it's like, okay, you're desperate need
Yeah.
of like, I just need a second opinion or a third opinion,
If
whatever.
he's controlling you, then you gotta speak up.
Yeah.
No, but definitely
the
keep
little
it
nuances
private.
in your relationship,
I feel like
keep
things that
private.
are sacred,
Keep private.
you don't have to boast about or promote, because it's like, God knows, they know, and that's enough.
That's enough.
If you have to like overextend yourself and say things and brag, and that means that it's not enough.
Yeah.
That you have to have validation from other people to hear that it's enough.
We need to get these sound
You know what I
effects.
mean?
Wait, I have so much. See, now I just feel like we need more than an hour because
I mean,
wanted
we could talk about
Yeah.
friendships forever,
Yeah, we're
especially
gonna
with
have to.
women, and I
Yeah.
think at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's really important to have friends. Like, it's really important. That's how we evolve. I think relationships is like what sharpens us and polishes us in bad ways and good ways. So we can talk about it forever. And if you like to talk about it, please listen and like and subscribe to the channel and give us a rating and drop a comment if you want here.
Yeah.
I want to know what they want to drop. All the comments.
Yes.
Anything you want us to talk about, let's drop them in the comments.
We're not to talk about anything. We are your sisters.
Yeah, what
And
you
we-
agree with, what you don't agree with,
Exactly.
your crazy friend stories. Maybe we can even read them next episode.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know. And then we'll see you
right.
on the next episode of Girl, Let Me Tell
Bye.
You. Cheers, friends.
Thank you. Cheers.